member from the Board of Trustees from the Harvard Business School Club of Northeastern Ohio.
Thank you for having me. Thanks all of you to your service to the community, and recreating an award ceremony that took place on the last day of school at Chagrin Falls High School, and it was a surprise at the time. I wish I could recreate the surprise, but there won't be any suspense. So joining me, again, my name is Doug Suna. Neil McCarthy, who's also a member of the Board of Trustees, he's a citizen of Chagrin Falls, is joining me as well. And our club is proud to be part of a rich Cleveland history as one of the oldest, and this, by the way, this is the same speech I gave at the high school. So we're proud to be part of a rich Cleveland history as one of the oldest and most active of the school's alumni clubs in the entire world. We think we're the oldest, or maybe the second oldest. We're dedicated to outstanding leadership and management excellence in both private and public organizations. We maintain a fund whose purpose is to provide financial support for philanthropic projects and organizations that promote or improve business and economic education in Northeast Ohio. One of the many ways we do this, and that's why I'm here, is through awarding the William M. Jones Harvard Business School Club Excellence in School Management Award. This award was established in the 1970s to honor and promote schools and their leaders that demonstrate management excellence and have a clear, measurable improvement in the quality of education. One thing I really emphasize, especially in front of the students, is that although I named one person for the award, it's really a team award for the students, the teachers, the staff, the administrators. It couldn't be done with just one person. The award consisted of a check to support school activities and a plaque to recognize the school. And I could literally spend the next 15 minutes explaining why we chose to recognize your school and your principal, but maybe some brief quotes from the application say it best. And by the way, I should mention that Mr. Bacalar, a business teacher, is the one who nominated Amanda for the award. She has demonstrated tremendous work ethic and relationship building with students, faculty, and staff. One saying she always says is, "We do what's best for the kids," and then goes out and shows it by supporting educators and their vision. So today, and remember this was a surprise, we are honored to present the 2025 William M. Jones Award to Amanda Rossi, the student's principal. And thank you also. We did want to thank Mr. Bacalar for nominating her. So we got many nominations, by the way. This is always a tough decision for us, but very deserving winner this year. So. Could someone take our picture, please?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Are they in the background? They should hold the plaque.
No, family.
Yes.
Oh.
They're both smiling, looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Never happens with my kids.
Congratulations, Amanda. Very well
Thank you so
done.
much. I just wanted to add, I in full school principal mode, was so busy thinking about like the food trucks that were arriving and getting ready for the Powder Puff game on Springfest that I didn't even realize they were talking about me until they said my name, which I'm sure was hilarious to the staff and to the students who like immediately figured out that they were talking about me. But I was very honored that day and like overwhelmed with emotions, and just even the thought of being recognized here in front of the board and in the community, you know, it means so much. So thank you both for this honor, and I definitely appreciate it. So we will put that money to very good use here at the high school. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congrats.
I just had a couple more things, but we'll say goodbye to our guests.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
So the couple things that I just wanted to finalize with the board is that we are going to move/cancel the meeting on June 25th. And that meeting will be rescheduled for June 30th at 7. Is everyone okay and on the same page with that move?
Yeah.
Because by then we hopefully will have the budget information and be able to finalize some staffing. Right now, we are going to cancel the July 9th meeting. There were some conflicts with attendance in that day. So the only thing that I'll mention is if for some reason we have to hire someone that's currently employed in a district in Ohio, we would have to do that before July 10th. So if something falls between the 1st and the 10th, I would just hold a special meeting for hiring only, and we would get those people in place. I'm not sure that we'll hit that time this year. I think we'll be okay, but just in case, no, we don't need a full meeting, but we may have to hold a special meeting at some point to hire. That would make our regular meeting in July on the 23rd at 7 is scheduled. And then our next regular meeting following that would be August 20th. And I'm bringing that out to your attention for 2 reasons. First of all, that's the first day of school. Second of all, that will be when all the new hires will be here to be reintroduced, and we usually do a small reception before for our new hires. So we'll have a full day of school, good adults, and they come to the meeting. So again, just to review, the 25th we're canceling. We're going to reschedule on the 30th at 7. We'll cancel July 9th. We'll hold a special meeting if we have to. July 23rd is on as scheduled, and August 20th as scheduled with new hire introductions. The other thing that I want to share with you is that we have been working with CFEA and had really great momentum to be able to go ahead and do the 26-27 calendar. And so we're able to put that out to the vote of our staff before they left, and they have until the beginning of next week. But I'll go ahead and present the 26-27 calendar at the June 30th meeting. So you'll have all of the information. Remember, we present ours and the calendars, and then we would wait 30 days to approve the next calendar. So that's kind of the timeline of how that will fall. But I think that's all the changes that we had to discuss. Is there any questions or anything?
That would be great to get that done more ahead of time. I know a lot of people would appreciate that.
Great. Okay, and that's all I have.
Okay. Next item then is treasurer's report. Go ahead and typically I don't do a lot of slides for the treasurer's report unless it is, factory forecast, or I am covering monthly reports, and then I have obviously numbers to present. Tonight, I was going to just kind of remind everybody that the biennial budget bill is still out there. It's pending. Last week, when I started thinking about what I was going to talk about this meeting, I was just going to kind of give a very high-level overview. And the Senate version had been released, had not been passed. It was passed this afternoon, and I got the omnibus comparison document at 6:35 this evening. So I did not read all 900 pages or 880, however many pages in the last 25 minutes, but hopefully everything that I am going to show you that's in these documents is still relevant. I looked at the most important things to us when we're talking finances. And it looks like everything is still the same. So, like I said, Senate passed its version this afternoon. The full Senate voted. They approved it. It then went to the House for consideration. The House voted not to concur, which we knew would happen, because then over the next 2 weeks they will work out their differences in conference committee. And then the governor is going to sign it by June. So last week, this was the only slide you were going to get. Now, biennial budget bill is the comparison document is right here. If you click on this link, which will be on our website and then also in board docs, you can see the actual comparison document, which is a much longer version. I put just a few items here on one slide. The document's actually 800 and I think it's 80 something pages long. First thing I wanted to point out was the Fair School Funding Plan. I know that we've talked about this. The governor was going to finish the phase-in. The House then eliminated it. The Senate put it back in. That is still the case. The Senate is still finishing the phase-in. And the negative on that is that it still retains the outdated cost inputs. So it's going to fund us on what it would have cost to educate a child in the past, not today. So we would like to see those updated, but you know, take what we can get at this point. The House introduced that 30% cap on the carryover that we've talked about. Senate increased that cap to a 50%, which is good. It gives us a little bit more wiggle room. Also includes some exceptions for planned capital projects. So one of the things that many school districts were worried about is they build up cash balances. And I know we talked about why we would have cash balances. They build up cash balances in order to hold money to pay for projects, large projects, in a few years. So they save up money in order to do that. The Senate heard us on that and included some exceptions in there. So that's good. Still, however, you know, takes the cash management out of our hands and still eliminates some of our local control. But at least we have a higher percentage carryover that we can work with, and we can still save up money for those big projects. One other thing in the Senate is it establishes a flat income tax of 2.75%. This, if you are thinking about, you know, 2 years from now in the next budget bill, it would appear that, you know, estimates right now are that that's a loss of about $1 billion to the state. Less money to the state means less money to distribute to schools. There are tons of other little things in here. I kind of just threw them all in just this one little box. This is just a selection of the most important things. When we're talking finances, obviously there are other things that don't actually even have to do with our finances and our revenue, but the Senate's version eliminates certain types of levies. It prohibits new levies for any school that has 100% carryover, is not allowed to put anything on the ballot. Changes ballot language, so if we do put a levy on the ballot, we have to include in the language what our carryover balance was. Changes the requirement for approval of a levy from a simple majority to a 2/3 majority. Among many other things, there are a lot of things in there that are just making it harder for schools to pass levies and collect taxes. So this is part of a trend. Introduced on June 4th, there's another bill, a standalone bill that combines elements from these 3 other bills here that I've pointed out. Biggest issue with this one is it eliminates inside millage for everyone except townships. Reminder, the Ohio Constitution allows us 10 inside mills, and that's the small portion of our taxes that actually grows with inflation. Voted millage does not grow with inflation. So this would eliminate all of that inside millage except for townships that are collecting inside mills. It's not clear, and I don't know for sure if the townships would then be able to just collect the 10 mills, because there's a 10 mill limitation and we all share it. Our share is 4.5 mills. So I don't know if those townships that are collecting a couple mills, if we lose ours and then the village loses theirs, If townships then just get all of that, I'm not sure. But to us, it's 4.5 mils, which would be an annual loss to us of about $3.5 million if this happens. So currently, this is a standalone bill. It's not part of the budget bill. However, there is a desire among a lot of our legislators to fold this into the budget bill. So it's possible that this could go into the budget bill. This also includes the cash balance cap at 30%. So if it's passed outside of the budget bill, it would be a stricter restriction on our cash balance, and it would bring it back down to that 30%. And this does not contain any allowances for those capital projects like the Senate is allowing in their version of the budget bill. So again, this is not currently part of the budget bill, but could end up in the budget. And don't forget the constitutional amendment is still out there, which would eliminate all property taxes in Ohio. So that is also not part of the budget bill, not a bill, but is currently they're trying to get signatures to get it on the ballot. So if they get enough signatures, this would be on the ballot this year.
So the last one that you talked about in the last slide, is that part of the budget, or could they pass the budget and then do this thing
I
that
believe they can
further
pass the
limits?
budget and then pass this. This is
Wow.
a separate bill that was just introduced June 4th. It's completely separate,
So it's in
but
committee now? What's
so right now, if you go to the website where it shows like the path of all of the bills, it's just it was introduced June 4th. So like there's nothing happening with it, but there are conversations about all of these items. And again, this brings things that were in 3 different bills together into one. So clearly there is support for these items among some of our legislators, and they would like to fold this into the budget bill and get it done. So if that gets, put into the bill, that would happen in conference in the next 2 weeks. If not, then I don't think that this bill would die. I think this is still a separate, it's the bill on its own.
So we could clear the budget hurdle and then still have these further legislation to try to cut our revenue. Cool. Because just having the budget be a standalone thing, right? We can't allow, the things that we didn't get in the budget to sit. We have to create a bill to make sure we still get it.
So what started as a one don't remember or don't forget turned into this this little image here that I thought was funny and made me laugh this afternoon, because as I was amending all of these slides, I thought, this is what I feel like. So here are all of your contacts again. If you feel compelled to contact them, if you have strong feelings about any of the provisions in any of these items, they're here for you. That's all. I know. A ray of sunshine today. I apologize.
Well, the graphics really balance it out.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Do we have anybody signed up for public participation?
Nobody signed up ahead of time, I'm guessing.
Okay. Jennifer, do you want to talk about any of these recommendations, or you want me to just make the motion and?
You can just make the motion, and if there's anything, I'll jump in.
Okay. I move to approve Resolution 25-022, accepting the negotiated agreement with Ohio Association of Public School Employees Local 485, effective July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028, as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I just think the process overall was very productive. We actually were able to get everything settled in 2 days, which was really nice. So I think it's a great agreement for the district moving forward.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, she seconded.
I was just seeing if there were any questions before I took the vote. Okay, Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Sabo,
Yes.
Mr. Bordner,
Yes.
Mrs. Hoy.
Yes. I move to approve the following staff resignations as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Foy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
I move to approve item 5.03, certified teacher contracts contingent upon meeting all requirements as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Foy? Yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Sabo?
Yes.
Item 5.04, I move to approve the following certified staff for additional hours as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Foy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo, I apologize.
I haven't heard this in a
I
while.
know,
but
I'm sorry.
I'm cool with it. My husband will love that.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Item 5.05, I move to approve the summer seasonal workers as presented, contingent upon meeting all requirements. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A bunch more, that's great.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yeah.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoy?
Yes.
Item 5.06, I move to approve the following classified staff for additional hours as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes. Item 5.07, I move to approve the presented as band camp event helpers for summer 2025 band camp, contingent upon meeting all requirements. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Item 5.08, I move to approve the presented staff for summer community education programs, contingent upon meeting all requirements. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Hoy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Item 5.09, I move to approve a primary service agreement with ESC of Northeast Ohio for general services for fiscal years 2026 and 2027 as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoy?
Yes.
Item 5.10, I move to approve Resolution 25-023 and a contract with ESC Western Reserve for services from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll just jump in for 1 second on this and everything else is normal. It's just that we use two different ESCs and we get different services, like best leaderships. So whichever provides that service is where we contract with, that's what you're seeing in ESCs.
Could you real quick talk through, when it's on the agenda, it says service agreement and resolution, which is interesting language and could potentially throw people off. Will you just walk through real quick what our ESC agreements are?
So what services that the school district will participate in, if you think of the ESC as kind of a consortium in some sorts, they're able to provide some specialized, either whether it's a program or a person. So just for example, when we did the gifted audit, if you will, to see what we could, how we were going to service and where we could improve, we hired someone through the ESC some of our health services or mental health partners can come to an ESC. There are other contracts. I'm trying to think if there are specific services that we take for financials. A lot of it
From
deals with specialized instruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Northeast Ohio is the main one, that's who we're aligned with. And then the Western Reserve we still use because we have mostly special ed services that we that we get them for.
And we do this every year in best practice in order to go
We
through.
review those contracts, we review the service, and we talk through what the best decision is. Sometimes it makes more sense to do things internally, but
Yeah.
it depends on what the need is.
By law, we have to be aligned with one. But, you know, they're not necessarily the best for our district for every single service.
Take roll.
Dr. Sabo,
Yes.
Mr. Bordner,
Yes.
Mrs. Foy,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Yes. Item 5.11, I move to approve the contract with Berkshire Local for extended school year services during summer 2025 as presented. Do I have a second? I'll second.
Mr. Bordner,
Yes.
Mrs. Foy,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Sabo.
Yes.
Item 5.12, I move to approve contracts with KidsLink as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Foy.
I was gonna say, yeah, could you just remind us, we're seeing multiple contracts. So is it like each contract for students?
And you know, it's just the contract kind of time of year, because we're getting everything in place in summer for when we start getting on this. Some of this is extended school year that we just approved. Also for the school years.
Mrs. Foy,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Sabo,
Yes.
Mr. Bordner.
Yes.
Item 5.13, I move to approve the contract with Bridges Interpreting LLC for services during summer 2025 as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Sabo,
Yes.
Mr. Bordner,
Yes.
Mrs. Foy.
Yes.
Item 5.14, I move to approve the contract with Groovy Garfoose LLC for music enrichment for Gurney Preschool for the 2025-26 school year as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Been waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, and I'll just-
It's the funnest contract, I think, to
Actually, this
say.
was the only contract that I had a question on, which is interesting because they said, well, you have elementary music teachers, why don't they cover preschool? Music licenses in the state of Ohio are K-12. So a lot of times it's better to contract for the preschool service because you can also bring in music therapy. And the person that we have, I've actually now been in with her 4 times. She is absolutely amazing, and she brings the music therapy to the classroom, which is an extra kind of certification that the general music educator doesn't have. And our music educators do a fantastic job. It's just that we're able to bring music therapy to our preschool students.
How long has she been how long have we been contracting with Groovy Garfoose?
I have no idea. I've known her for 2 years from my interactions with the preschool department. So that's a question that we can answer for you.
I'm just trying to place who the person was when I was spending a lot of time in there. And I'm hoping that it wasn't the same person, because I wouldn't have shared your enthusiasm for her. So I'm hoping that it's been somebody new.
Dr. Sabo,
Yes.
Mr. Bordner,
Yes.
Mrs. Foy,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Yes. Treasurer's recommendations.
Item 6.01 is a grant approval for a tech cred grant. It will provide reimbursement for 15 staff members to obtain AI-driven differentiation training and credentialing. I'm recommending your approval.
Can you just go over what AI-driven differentiation training means?
Um,
Like
um,
differentiating what's AI and what's
I
not? That's what
believe-
it sounds
It's
like to me, or
differentiating
AI's
instruction. So
doing
when
the
it says-
differentiating, okay.
When it says tech cred, it's really technology credentialing.
Okay.
In some respects, so it's a tech grant working on credentialing. And specifically, the person that wrote it for the district was Kathy Mack. So it will also be working on how we can use AI to differentiate instruction, especially for our gifted learners. In some respects, is my understanding. Do you know anything different?
And then we're approving that we are being reimbursed through a grant?
Right, so it's
We
a
have to pay
grant, yeah.
I was like,
So-
who's doing the reimbursing? Are
So
we doing it or
remember
they-
this year, we started approving all grants. So this is not something typically, last year if this had happened, we would not have brought this to your, for your approval. We are now having you approve all and accept all grants. So like most of our grants, we will spend it, do the activity, provide proof that we did it, provide proof of the credentialing in this case, and then the state will reimburse us.
Okay,
And it's up to 15 people.
okay, thank you, that's helpful.
Yeah, the language I just copied straight from the,
Yeah.
from the grant document. Here we go. Okay, so I need a motion in a second. Sorry.
Um,
Okay, Mr. Bordner.
Yes.
Mrs. Foy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Okay, item 6.02 is a then and now. This is another one of those that, all of these items with Connect or NeoNet or some of these, all of those types of services, we've had a little bit of miscommunication this year on who was doing which of these items. So this is one that kind of fell through the cracks. And the service was obviously provided and the invoice was not done on time. So I'm recommending your approval.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mrs. Foy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.
Okay, I believe we don't have any further public participation. And also, I believe do not have any executive session. Moving right along to the announcement of the next meeting of the board, which will be a regular board meeting on June 30th, as we discussed earlier, 7 p.m. in the high school library. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Mrs. Foy?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Bordner?
Yes.